Squirrels! So hello, and welcome to another Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we are playing Vladimir. I'm not sure, maybe once I've made a Vladimir deck, but considering he's, been in the game since the very beginning, I really have not looked at Vladimir a lot, and it's partly because, of course, Vladimir has tended to be one of the worst champions. They've buffed him in a couple ways, but still, yet he is, this is the Scargrounds deck, right, with sort of the Braum, Vladimir, it's kind of like a combo deck with Might, more so than a Vladimir deck. It's neither a Scargrounds or Vladimir deck, but that's kind of probably the two most sort of talked about things in the deck, even though it's more sort of just like a traditional Vladimir, like, Might Overwhelm Scar deck. And Vladimir in his current form, I've said this before on videos about, which cards need to be buffed, and how I would go about buffing Vladimir. Vladimir has a problem in that it seems that the dev team really want to make Vladimir a mid-range champion. But his design very much limits a mid-range game plan. But to me, everything they keep doing to Vladimir says we want to make him mid-range, but his core ability just is not mid-range. What do I mean by this? Well, of course, the last two changes they made was they made him drain from the enemy nexus as well once leveled up, and changed instead of just all attacking allies, it was each attacking ally on my right, which means that you could choose which one, right? The idea being that, of course, damaging your units is not very mid-range centric. It's not something you want to do if you're a mid-range deck, because you want your units to live and get value out of them, whereas Vladimir, actively hurts them. So that obviously is a problem. And the thing is, because Vladimir does damage to the enemy's nexus, right now his core ability is a burn champion, but I don't think they want him to be. So they keep trying to push him slightly away, but it's never enough to overcome this core concept that he is a burn champion. And you can buff him and make him a good burn champion if you wanted to, but I really don't think that they want to. I think they're desperate to turn him into a mid-range champion, but just have not found the ways of doing it just yet. And so, therefore, we are in a deck that is utilizing his actual abilities at the moment, which is as a burn finisher, right? We've got a very aggressive Bilgewater Noxus list that, uses some of the Bilgewater sort of self-damage cards, which obviously do well with Vladimir as well. Of course, Crusty Codger and Boxtopus will help, and even Fortune Croaker will very much help you level up Vladimir very quickly. And a 5-mana 6/6 with regen that, has an ability to deal damage straight to the Nexus and potentially gain life as well. That's pretty good. You'd like, if leveled up Vladimir was, normal Vladimir, you definitely, this card would see a lot of play, because just the stat line alone is very, very good. We've all seen Trundle at 4/6 dominate boards as well. So 6/6 with regen is very good indeed. And so, this is a deck that will be leveling up Vladimir. Also Demolitionist as well. We do have Crimson Disciple, some nice synergies. And apart from that, it's kind of a, typical... It kind of looks like Power Aggro if you squint. It does have some different cards like Crusty Codger, for instance, and Crimson Disciple and Croaker and stuff to go more in with Vlad. But it kind of looks the same. We also have Jack the Winner, who's of course synergizes quite nicely with Vlad as well, and Farron at the top, just a good top end card. And yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the deck. We have some nice synergies with Zap always pulling for us our Noxian Fervors, which again synergizes with Vlad potentially, and just deals that face damage to the opponent. And so if you like Vlad and, you want to play a Vlad deck and potentially a different Vlad deck that you haven't thought about or seen, then this is a very good list for you. It's pretty competitive. As I say, it's kind of an offshoot of Pyre Aggro, which is, a very good deck. So it also is a pretty good deck. And I would say overall, I would give this deck on the nuts rating scale, S 7.5, somewhere between 7 and 8. I think I'm a bit undecided yet, but it can win games, and Vlad feels pretty good when he does win games for you. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. And with that said, let's dive into some games and see how we do. Teemo Sejuani. Okay, against Teemo Sejuani, let's just go fast, I think. Fortune on 3, nice. We dropped the demos as, you know, we don't have a 1-drop that we can reliably target with it. So we're hoping to, I mean, we did find them now, but, you know, there was no guarantee that that was going to happen before. We start with Kodra over Butcher because this could become a 3-3 at some point if we wanted it to. I'm not saying it will, but it could do. And with this Teemo, you know, that they're probably going to be trying to race us somewhat here, so we want to go fast. Fast. Fervor could be nice, as they will have probably some spells that can target. So I think I don't think you play Static Shock in that deck. I think let's go for this. We have Vlad in hand as well, so, you know, leveling him up this quick could all be very good for us. You could run Get Excited in that deck, which, you know, could come and hit this Misfortune. I would have preferred to have that box was last turn, but, you know, beggars and choosers. Plays Peddler. So we can attack with these. I mean, honestly, he does have Troll Chant. And with the Boxtopus, I think, yeah, let's just go for this instead. Let's make him use Elixir and Troll Chant and the like on this. To get rid of these rather than Fortune. And it's still going down to 2 health, so it does lose something. Fortunately, you know, if that would have if he would have blocked the other one, for instance, we could have gone for these. I do want to play Boxtopus this turn, though. You're already on 3 of 5, so that would be 4 of 5. I could have leveled up Vlad as well, and the Drain could be important in this match. He's going to get 5, so he can level up Teemo here, so we are very much in a race. So I think I'm going to go for Crimson Disciple. We will go Boxtopus. He has the Mystic Shot. My goal here, I think, is to, I mean, if he does have Sejuani in hand, you know, we probably will be drawing a Mushroom every turn. We get lucky that time. So I could go Vlad here, and Vlad will potentially level up, but I think what I like more is actually going in here for this first. I think I prefer that. There's only Chump Wump, which is like a big blocking threat, and even then, that's not too big of a problem. So I think we will go in. Do I attack with you as well? Yeah, sure. Let's deal as much damage as we can. Just used a Mystic Shot. Like, he can't afford to go down to 2. Okay, he goes for Flash Freeze.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Does he have Troll Chant as well? No?
Love ya. Look what you. It's just.
So get rid of Peddler. I could see Sejuani, which would be a threat, of course. There's a Zap. Now, Zap means that we will get another Fervor, which means we do have the 7 in hand with Misfortune to make it rain. He does have exactly Sejuani. So I think here we can survive this turn. There's 37 mushrooms in the deck. Wow. Okay. Let me think. So he takes with the Sejuani. That deals 2. He deals 2 more. So we're down to 12. 12 with that many puff caps in the deck. I don't think we'd be taking that much damage. We do have to let that block. So I do think we will go for this now. Oh, no, wait. I can just play you first. What am I thinking? I can just block this. I was like, what? I was thinking so much about the fervor, I completely forgot. It does draw as a card. That is a negative, but it also stops the doubling of that. And if he goes for a mystic shot on this, then I can fervor. Maybe we play this slower. Oh, he takes with Teemo. Well, I will still block, because I think we need to. But that's fine. Misfortune lives. That's good as well. So do I go for it now? I don't... we need to end the game next turn, but we're definitely not drawing too many mushrooms now. You're on 3 of 5, so we're good there. In that, you know, if Sejuani was leveling up, then we might be in some trouble. But as she isn't, I think we can just pass. Because if he wants to kill something, we could have fervored it. But he doesn't. So I think we just open attack. Again, we didn't draw any mushrooms, which is pretty lucky, but we should be ending the game this turn. This Misfortune got to 3 or 4. This Misfortune very rarely levels up. Goes for Fury of the North. I think we go for the Make It Rain now, because it is the guaranteed 1 damage. And the guaranteed 1 damage is important because it means we only need 1 fervor. Which means that we can fervor, and even if he has a response, we can then go for second fervor. So we'll see if he develops something here. Goes for another Teemo. So this would have to be double Mystic Shot to beat this right now. I mean, you're still only on 3 of 5, so you're not even leveled up yet. And you're a 5/6. So if I played Vlad now, then yeah, there's not much he can do. He could Mystic here and then level up, but the level up doesn't matter anymore because I'm just going to fervor for the win. Is Vladimir the safest option? I mean, in theory, I could lose to double Mystic Shot. It's unlikely, but I could, whereas I don't see how I lose with Vlad now. Because Vlad is a very reliable target to go for this next turn. Yeah, there's also a call, maybe go Disciple. There's no point in going Disciple now. I mean, we're not drawing... I mean, if we drew... Okay, we drew 5 mushrooms somehow, but...
The fruits of conquest.
That should be fine. Jump Wump is fine. Again, he's still got these 2 cards, though, so they could, in theory, still be 2 Mystic Shots. So we'll just go for... Ballista, I guess. Still have the mana required for both. He goes for Sentry. Okay, so now we know we should be good. Double Mystic didn't matter. What was I talking about? As soon as I had Vlad, I should have just gone for it. But we get there. You might think that was trolling, but it really wasn't. It was making sure that we won. Trundle Asol, a little Targon's Peak action, perhaps. It could also not be. I've seen, you know, people play that anyway. Well, against what I assume is a ramp deck at the very least, we want to just go, you know, full in as quickly as we can, deal as much damage as we can. You know, maybe even if we do draw Vlad, we'll, you know, with this hand, Vlad is leveling up very quickly. So we'll just go for the old... we could go for both of these. That could be more damage. So let's do that. Let's go for max damage, whilst this deck probably isn't doing too much or not that much of consequence, such as playing Faces of the Old Ones, because we want to take advantage of these turns whilst we do have an advantage, and he's going down to 15 already. And this also means that Avalanche is less likely. But he does have a lot of ramp. So I think I like Box to Bus therefore. Because Boxbus will pick off one of these ramp tools. Now I definitely do want to open attack this time because, you know, their options at this point are very, you know, Trundle, anything like that could come out. So we do get rid of the ramp tools. And we can start a sort of burn process with Disciple into this. Does go Trundle. I mean, Avalanche is more likely now.
Let me show you.
This will level up Vlad. Maybe I wait. And on Treat. So that means a Trundle's Icequake could be in hand. So if it is Icequake, then I should probably do this anyway. Get the damage in. Okay, we find Vlad. He goes back down to 5 mana now. Oh, I was still counting his old mana. I feel like that should come back once it's there. I actually kind of need the board space, so sure. Could go Vlad now. It's a really big threat. He could Avalanche. Maybe I should have blocked there. Maybe I pass. You know, I'm threatening a pretty big attack here. Okay, Wording Stones is good. So that means I can play Vlad. So we'll try and pick off the Wording Stones here with the Boxtopus probably. And then put everything else on this side and attack. And here's Vlad, you know, acting, as I said, as a burn finisher. You know, where he's dealing 4 damage, 5 with the Crimson Disciple. And, you know, this deck, I mean, they have freezes, but it's probably not going to be enough. And it isn't. So Vlad comes in, doing what he was born to do, be a burn finisher. Okay, little Zoe Lee Sin. Again, we probably want to go somewhat fast against a deck like that. We're attacking on evens, which does make you a little awkward. Fine Kaja. And I say that this is a little awkward because it's not the most threatening thing. Like a Boxtopus here, you know, could potentially pick off something like an Eye of the Dragon. It doesn't play Eye. I'd like to think about it though. Sparklefly. Okay. So again, something like Boxtopus would be really nice. These zaps are okay, as they can block something like Sparklefly. The old double Sparklefly hand. I mean, we probably do want to develop a zap to try and get rid of these. They are a threat. On 4, what's the biggest issue? Palm?
Keep up, keep up.
There's no developments that I'm truly worried about, I don't think. Am I forgetting something? You know, it'd be stuff like Eye. Do I attack with Misfortune? I will. Do I attack with Zap? I will. Let's go in. We put Misfortune here. We put our biggest targets here, so that if he heals, the damage still goes through at the end. You know, sequencing is important when they have lifesteal. That's less than ideal.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that? Gotta go with the flow.
So we have all 3 fervors now. Of course, this deck does play things like
What's that you got there?
You can't do this.
things like Nopify. Goes for a pale. Puts it at 3 health. Let's go for this now. He could have deny, notify, it's all there for him. It is deny though. That's better than notify. And this is still down to 1 health. He can gem it back up. His fortune is only on 1. So we're probably gonna need to find an alternative route. Again, I like developing though. I like going in as big as we can. And forcing these combat tricks out. Because as soon as we can deal with these, we should be okay. Oh, he has eye as well. My god. So he found pretty much every healing card he had. Yeah, let's go in still. We should have done this first. I talked about attack order before. We should have put the attack order slightly differently. Why am I attacking with these? You might think it's an odd attack, but weakening these could be like fervor is my damage to these, right? So to get rid of these, I mean that would be a crazy block, and he just doesn't block anything at all. And you know, if he's like suspicious of what's going on, I mean now we could just win. Anyway, even with guiding touch, he needs another one. I don't know quite what he was thinking there. I think now we just, you know, we fervor face. We fervor face, we force guiding touch plus deny, or 2 notifies or 2 denies. You know, that's what we're going to force out. Sonic wave is fine.
Not all in well.
You're going to also resonating strike? No. Yeah. So he's wasted some money. He still does have deny plus. So sure, I'll block, I guess, in case it does go wrong. And then, what do I want to get rid of? I guess I might block with you.
Say your farewell.
And use it on you. So he needs deny or guiding touch. And he needs both to win because this is the power of Zap with Noxie and Fervor. See if he's got it. Hush does nothing, and yeah. So we get there. Oh, I mean, all this healing and we still got there. I mean, an interesting choice not to block by our opponent. But you know, sometimes people get scared, right? They think this is how I'm winning the game. I can't risk it. Yeah, they made an interesting decision.